What's up, Fresh Fam? Here is what to watch this week.
I'd like you to meet Margaret.
Nice to meet you, Margaret.
Nice to meet you, Mr. Young.
Time sure does fly, doesn't it?
Sure does.
In theaters Friday, November 1st is the drama film Here, directed and co-written by Robert Zemeckis. Yup, the guy from freaking Back to the Future and Forrest Gump is still making movies, and this time with Tom Hanks, Robin Wright, Paul Bettany, and Kelly Riley in starring roles. And if some of those names are all starting to sound familiar together, that's cause this one reunites a bunch of Forrest Gump folks 30 years later. Like Hanks and Wright and Zemeckis, plus cinematographer Don Burgess and composer Alan Silvestri. Pretty cool. Here is based on the 2014 graphic novel of the same name by Richard Maguire and covers one single spot of land and the people who used it from the past and on into the future.
Davers and I are cousins. We used to be joined at the hip. Our grandma was from here, so Dave arranged for us to join this geriatric Polish tour with you fine people.
Also in theaters this Friday is the new Jesse Eisenberg project, A Real Pain. The actor wrote, directed, and produced and stars in this one alongside Kieran Culkin. They play mismatched cousins who reunite for a trip to Poland to honor their grandmother and end up reigniting old drama between themselves in the process. Eisenberg's old pal Emma Stone served as one of the producers for this movie, which actually premiered at Sundance back in January and is already coming in over 90% on the tomato meter. And you know, we gotta say it, this one has some early Oscar buzz. So it's probably not surprising that the consensus from critics is that both stars in A Real Pain are great and that it's, quote, a powerfully funny, emotionally resonant dramedy.
Can we find the Home Secretary? I'd like to be able to tell the ambassador whether her husband is alive or dead.
Returning to Netflix on Thursday the 31st is The Diplomat Season 2. This is the show that earned Kerry Russell a bunch of love from the award shows earlier this year, with her starring as the new U.S. ambassador to the UK and dealing with all that comes with it, plus some other stuff. The certified fresh first season ended on a cliffhanger involving a pretty major character and a car bomb. We all know how that'll go, but at least we can pretend for a while. The Diplomat has been confirmed for a third season, and probably for comments like this one from top critic Brian Truitt of USA Today, who called it, quote, a soapy, meaty drama worth sinking your teeth into. You heard that right.
Let me just ask you one thing. Did you guys ever look at any other suspect?
Another release to keep on your radar this week is the drama thriller Juror Number 2 in theaters on Friday. It's potentially the final movie from director Clint Eastwood and stars Nicholas Hoult, Toni Collette, J.K. Simmons, and Kiefer Sutherland. It follows a man serving on a jury for a high-profile murder case and how he could sway the outcome.
Do you believe in ghosts?
Finally, our verified hot pick this week is also a spooky pick for obvious reasons, and that's Last Night in Soho, streaming on Fandango at Home. Directed by Edgar Wright, it follows an aspiring fashion designer who is able to enter the 1960s via dreams of the past, which eventually begin to crack and turn into something bad. It has a 90% score on the popcorn meter, with audiences loving the visual thrills, great soundtrack, and a plot that keeps you guessing. Seems like a great week, and we're totally here for it. Get it? Because here, remember to check out RottenTomatoes.com for the latest updates on scores and reviews. Until next week, stay fresh.